Hey everybody, hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the finale of What If Spider-Man Was Born in the Dragon Ball Z world. And as always, before we begin, I'm OG Brown Nerd, and if you're a fan of Marvel, DC, anime, basically anything nerdy, you should subscribe because I talk a little bit about everything. And we have a bunch of fun stuff coming for the future of this channel, including real life vlogs. I'm going to be doing some cosplays, going to conventions, doing videos like that. Now, I mainly post on TikTok, but with the potential ban returning, I'm going to be focusing a lot of my efforts on YouTube as well. The final battle against Null, Zamasu, and Spider Carnage begins in a chaotic clash of spider powers. The three Spider-Men lunge into battle against Null, and the Saiyans divide and conquer against Spider Carnage and Zamasu. Trunks and Vegeta focus their energy on Spider Carnage, using the shockwaves and text pass Bulma gave them to attack. While Goku and Raditz put the smackdown on Zamasu, their power is far superior to his, but he keeps coming back to that damn immortality. Null is by far the greatest threat, and it's because of that freaking Necro Sword. The Scarlet Spider jumps in, flying quickly to disarm Null in a brutal way, but once he severs the sword, it instantly fuses back to Null, revealing the inseparable bond that he wished for. Kane and Ben begin battling hard while Peter webs Null's face, a classic Spider technique. Honestly, probably the most said sentence in this What If. They continue exchanging blow after blow, and they manage to stagger the would-be god, but still, his sword remains a threat. Even when it looks like Null's on the ropes, his sword reacts like it has a mind of its own. You could say it has its own spider sense in a way. Null gets angered. How dare these mortals lay a hand on him? Do you know how many gods this sword has killed? The Necro Sword is the greatest weapon in the multiverse. How dare they think they stand a chance against it? His fury has no bounds as he lunges in, and as he goes for a kill shot against one of the Spider-Men, another portal opens up. Spider-Man 2099 rushes in and kicks Null in the face, knocking him backwards. Kane and Ben immediately chuckle, saying, "It's about damn time, Miguel." Peter looks on in awe. How many spider people are there in this multiverse? How many multiverses are there? So many questions. And now, as the writer of this is when I say, it doesn't matter, it's chaos, but if you want a quick explanation, they exist outside the DB finite multiverse in a different section of the universe, all interconnected in some magical sciencey way. Basically, the DB multiverse is 12 universes all in one bubble, but within those universes there's different timelines and branches and such. And throughout those branch timelines there's different universes, whole other multiverses, all existing in this weird explosive bubble. Now, our Peter realizes that Vegeta and Trunks need help as Spider Carnage is fully bonded with the symbiote. Much like how he was with Venom, but this goes even further beyond. The only thing that broke him out back then was Uncle Ben, but Uncle Ben has been dead in this timeline. And he doesn't have enough time to rush in and grab his own Uncle Ben. What does he do? And as he looks at his spider doppelgangers, he realizes and he rushes to the multiverse portal device, and doing some Peter Parker magic, he opens a portal, allowing a version of Uncle Ben to step through. He screams at Vegeta and Trunks to stop, to not kill his future self, as Uncle Ben approaches the bloodthirsty Spider Carnage, hoping to reach his nephew inside. Uncle Ben? Spider Carnage asks, his voice augmented by the symbiote. The bond too fully formed, he can't take it off without dying. But still, despite this, Uncle Ben touches the monstrous face of his nephew, and utters, "This is his power now, and what does that mean, Peter?" And Spider Carnage whimpers and breaks down, and he says it means it's his responsibility. Gaining the strength he needs, he gains control over the symbiote, and he knows what he has to do. He tells our Peter that the only way to beat Null and Zamasu is to trap them in the void, a dead universe in which nothing exists, and Spider Carnage knows just how to do it, and he knows just the right one. He grabs the multiverse device and begins overloading it. He's gonna send them to Universe 12, the ones that Zeno destroyed in the Prime timeline. He just needs time to locate it, because if he's wrong, they'll be able to return. Goku and Raditz push Zamasu near Null with the help of Vegeta and Trunks, and Peter covers Spider Carnage as they rush at Null. They launch the multiverse device and a mini black hole opens. The Saiyans all transform into their blue beast form, while the Spider-Men all charge their ultimate forms. They're gonna launch one giant web attack, and Spider Carnage rushes in, tying his two former allies up as he screeches, "Blast them in, now!" He's sacrificing himself, holding them down while the attack begins, pushing them into the vortex. And just before the hole closes, Spider Carnage's last words are, "Forgive me." The three of them are now locked in an infinite dimension of nothing, with no way to escape, Their time rings are useless because nothing exists, so time doesn't exist either. In a way, Zamasu and Null got what they wanted. It's their perfect utopia, free from mortals. They're gonna live their days floating around the endless nothing. Back in the broken future, Peter, Ben, Kane, and Miguel all take a moment to do the Spider-Man pointing meme. Vegeta approaches and says, "Who the hell are they?" And Miguel says they're a team of spider warriors tasked with protecting the multiverse. Their powers all came from the dead destroyer, the Weaver, and their goal is to safeguard the current multiverse, but none of them exist within this multiverse. They're outside, on the fringes, in the webs. And Vegeta's first question is, are there Saiyans where they come from? And Ben chuckles and says no, but there are Asgardians, and he'd love for Vegeta to meet Thor. He's also a battle-hungry warrior. Vegeta quirks his eyebrow, curious, perhaps one day they will do battle for greatest warrior race. Miguel offers Peter a chance to join in, but Peter says his responsibility is to his home universe, especially with the upcoming Tournament of Power. Will any of them be joining? Kane says he wishes, but since they technically don't have a home universe, they can't participate and they'll end up watching it on GodTube. Miguel and them bid them farewell and return back to their time. Or multiverse, who knows. The future is officially safe once again, but the devastation is palpable, and with no future Peter left, it's just Bulma and Trunks. Current Peter goes into the lab with Bulma, and with their combined genius, they find a location of New Namek. Perhaps they can restore this world with its Dragon Balls. The Super Dragon Balls of this dimension may be gone, but maybe they'll be able to make new Earth ones once they get to Namek. It's not much, but it's enough hope for Bulma and Trunks to cling on to. Maybe they can save their world. Peter sends the Uncle Ben variant back with a hug, and they all return back to the present. The Future Saga ends with the final chapter of the story beginning the Tournament of Power. And the day of the tournament arrives, and the new roster for Universe 7 is Goku, Peter, Vegeta, Raditz, Piccolo, Gohan, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, and Miles. Peter has been drilling with Whis to master his version of Ultra Instinct, specifically with his stamina, so he could utilize the form with his ultimate. The Saiyans have been working on pushing their Blue Beast forms to the maximum, while Gohan worked on infusing God Ki into Super Saiyan 4. Goku doesn't get UI in the story because the path of power he chose is more focused on raw force versus refined technique. And if you want to see a father-son Ultra Instinct combo, then check out my what if of Goku brings his parents back. It's one of my earlier ones. The tournament begins largely the same, with Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta breaking off on their own, while Peter stays back, providing support for Gohan's plan of sticking together. Tien and Yamcha wait for the right time to fuse, considering they only have one shot and a time limit. Now, the inciting incident is when Caulifla ends up battling with Raditz, who gets flustered, a female Saiyan. She begins attacking him, and Raditz is actually enjoying this. He's totally gonna marry this woman after this. Raditz regains his composure and flirts the only way a Saiyan knows how, and he gut punches her. Unfortunately for him, this causes Kale to go berserk, and she snaps at Raditz. Raditz quickly goes God, and even then it's not enough as she walks through his attacks, and universes continue falling as Vegeta and Goku join in to help. And the three Saiyans together manage to overpower Kale, but they fail to knock her out as Caulifla steps in front. They quickly fall against the Saiyans and they need to fuse into Kefla. Now this gets the attention of everyone as the three Blue Beast Saiyans begin to battle the broken fusion. However, Kale didn't learn to master her abilities yet, so the fusion is a little bit more unstable. And while the battle is epic, ultimately the three Blue Beast Saiyans knock her out the ring. But this epic showing has consequences because Universe 9 decides to press the advantage while the Saiyans are fatigued. And this prompts Gohan and the rest of Universe 7 to step up. Jiren leads the assault, but Peter manages to dodge his attacks. Whis sees it coming as the gods begin to stand up, and Peter transforms into his version of Ultra Instinct. A perfect blend of Spider Sense and the Divine Technique, and with his body already used to moving on its own, Ultra Instinct doesn't have the strain on him anymore. While Peter battles against Jiren, Universe 7 goes all out. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, Tiensha, Kaioken Krillin, and Orange Piccolo. Universe 9 stands no chance, and this includes Toppo and Dispo, and with no Frieza, Toppo never becomes a god of destruction. Universe 7's years of battling together have made them a well-oiled machine. Universe 7 stands guard against any third-partiers, while Peter allows the Saiyans to recover. And once they rejoin, Jiren goes all out, and while he can land blows on Raditz, Goku, and Vegeta, he still can't touch Peter, and this causes him to get furious and sloppy, opening him up for counters. His anger fueling his moves, but distracting him. Peter webs him up, and the Saiyans continue breaking through his key barriers, and they continually assault him, weakening him further and further. Jiren launches a massive death ball at Peter with all of his power, but Peter web slings the ball back at Jiren, and he web slingshots forward. He tackles Jiren as his own attack lands and blows him up in an epic sacrifice play for his friends and his universe. And with Peter's sacrifice and Jiren gone, Universe 7 is inspired and they go on to dominate the rest of the tournament. And when it comes time for the wish, Goku is named the MVP with the most eliminations. And he gives Peter the wish, and the words "with great power and great responsibility" ring truer than they ever have in his life. It's like everything he's lived up through and went through has been for this single moment. Peter wishes the universes back and everyone begins cheering him on. Raditz is the most excited. He's definitely going to marry Caulifla. And that's what I think would happen if Spider-Man was born in the Dragon Ball Z world. Thank you so much for everybody who's been tuning in week by week for the What If. The full series will be out next week, and that one's probably going to get way more views because internet. And I think the next What If is definitely going to be Goku in Mortal Kombat. And hopefully that one will start airing by the end of this month, February 28th, and it'll run all the way through March. I may start doing more vlog posts and some test posts here and there. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Peace.